Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So, what better place to be than here with me? Good morning, Miss Love. Good morning. Hope we're ready to get this day started. It's going to be the most amazing day that it's going to be. So, let's do the introduction right fast. And then we can get started. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget we have the podcast. Um, and it costs you nothing to subscribe to the morning show. If you could, please welcome you to make sure you hit that subscribe button. The podcast is everywhere podcasts are found. So you can find us on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora. You can even now say, Alexa, play the Live Past Crazy show, and you will be able to hear the Fearless Morning Show on Alexa. And you can take me everywhere you want to go. So we have the book, we have the podcast, we have the movies, we have all the things. So we are ready for the most amazing day. So if y'all been with me for the since January 24th, we've been talking about the I am statement, right? Um, and I am doesn't destroy. I am only creates. And then when we create, you say I am, you create a mold and you feel that mold intentionally or unintentionally every time you open up your mouth after you say your I am statement. And we have talked about healing and we've talked about all the things. So this morning, I want to talk about bitter healing. I'm going to talk about bitter healing. So, and what that kind of means. So bitter healing is when we are on this journey, right? And we are doing whatever it is we need to do. When we are moving and growing and we are expanding our minds because sometimes we need to expand ourselves to embrace more. Um, so as we are on that journey and as we are doing that thing, we have to be aware of why we're doing it. So this was a big healing piece for me. Not only did we talk about last week closing things off, so that domestic violence, we talked about the domestic violence piece and closing it off and how that works. But sometimes something that happens that causes you to want to be different, right? It causes you to want to see different, be different, whatever it is, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, a relationship, friendship, careership, whatever it is, something happens that causes an instant or immediate change. Remember, there's three kinds of changes. Oh, we talked about that maybe 3 years ago. uh, and we're going on our fifth year. Yay. Um, so, whatever that caused the change that says, hey, I want to do this differently or I want to be this way, when you start your healing journey, you start whatever your journey is, that is the thing that's going to carry you. Like it's the thing, it's your catalyst. It helps move you towards that thing or move you forward with that thing or whatever it is. But at some point in your journey, you have to go back and look to say, is the reason why I started this journey going to sustain me? Am I going to stay here because of the reason why I started it? So for me, it was going back to school to prove I wasn't stupid, to finish my master's degree. It was continue on with my PhD to prove I really wasn't stupid even more. But was that going to sustain me? Was the reason why I was doing that going to sustain me, who I was, where I was going? If the answer to that is I don't know, or no, or maybe, then we need to take time to look back at the things that we're healing from. So, what can happen in the middle of this? You're using a catalyst to help you grow and do the things and It is helping you live your whole best life, and you've overcome so much, and we're happy and we're proud of you. But eventually it can become bitter healing, meaning you're healing, but you're bitter about why you're healing. So I'm healing past this thing. I don't want to live in crazy anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. But my healing is bitter because the reason why I'm doing it has left a bad taste in my mouth. It has created a trauma marker in my body. It's done all the things. And even though at one point that was a great catalyst for me to continue and to grow and do, but will it sustain me? And if the answer is I don't know, or I haven't thought about it, then it's more than likely not going to sustain you. So as you're healing, as you're growing, as you're looking through this thing, think about the healing, the reason why you are deciding to heal. So if the catalyst in the beginning was, well, I'm healing because this traumatic thing happened to me, that's wonderful. That's great. But you need to ask yourself, is that going to be the thing that sustains you through the entire growth process? And if it's not, then you need to go back and look to decide, why am I choosing to heal? Because then your healing can become bitter. It's bitter because you're doing it because of something somebody did. And you're resentful towards them, so you decide to heal. You're mad at them, so you decide to prove them wrong. They hurt your feelings, so you decide to live your whole best life. At some point in that journey, right, you've got to decide that I'm going to let this bitter healing go and simply heal or simply be. So your healing, just like trauma happens in layers, healing takes place in layers. And as you peel it apart, as you get down to it, as you look deeper into it, and you get to the root of what it is, the reason for the healing or the mindset change or whatever it is that you're going through, whatever you're deciding at this moment that you want to do, the reason has to be more than a bitter reason. So you don't have bitter healing. So what happens with bitter healing is that you heal, but as you heal and go through the journey, the reasons why you're doing it are attached to your trauma. And so now you can't separate the two. Y'all with me? So at some point, my bitter healing, I have to say I'm healing because this is what I desire, not to prove anybody right or wrong, but this is what I desire. This is what I need. And so my healing can take place that way. Because if we continue to have bitter healing, if we continue on the journey of I'm doing this to prove the other person wrong, I'm going to be smart to prove him wrong, I'm going to be a millionaire to prove them wrong, I'm going to be this great person to prove them wrong, then you have bitterness associated with your healing because now it's attached to the thing that hurt you. Person, people, person, place, a thing, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, whatever it is. So for me, my bitter healing was I was doing this to show everybody that I was smarter. I could be different. I could be all of these things. And it was a great catalyst at the time. But it could not sustain me in my healing journey. And because it could not sustain me in my healing journey, eventually I had to do the work to say, this is for JoJo. It's not for anybody else. This is for me. And you have to decide if that's enough for you. You have to decide that. Now, if it's not, okay. That's what you know. That's what you decide. But then ask yourself, as you are healing, and it's a bitter healing, is the healing real? What is the core reason in 15 years Is the core reason why I'm doing this healing still going to be just as important? Who is benefiting more from this healing? So you can heal or assume that you're healing and things just still not go well. Because the bitterness that we're holding on to. I'm doing this because, and then you have to always, and then you'll find yourself in a space of always having to remind yourself that you're healing because of this trauma, or you healing because of this person. And eventually I didn't want my healing attached to that. I didn't want to be healing because it was attached to this person. I didn't want that. So I had to let go of the bitter healing, and I had to focus on this is for me. Then my purpose changed. Then the direction changed. Then the healing got deeper. Okay. It got deeper. It became more intimate for me. See, when you have bitter healing, the level of intimacy that you have with yourself maybe may not be as deep because you're busy trying to prove a point. That I'm going to heal because they said I couldn't, and I'm going to show them. But you're not really tapped into you and your healing. So on this great, most amazing day, and it's going to be a beautiful day, that I can promise you. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be the most amazing day ever. I want you to think about your bitter healing. Think about, are you healing from a sad place? And that's okay. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That's okay. I've been there. I healed from a bitter place. I healed because I wanted to prove somebody wrong. But eventually I got to the place in my journey where that no longer served me. It wasn't serving me. It wasn't doing anything for me. I focused more on the trauma than the healing. And when I switched that, where I wanted to focus on the healing and close that trauma completely off, then I let go of the bitter healing. So on this most amazing day, I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that. You should take a minute to think about why you're healing, the importance of it. Where do you desire to go with it from this point on? Because my wish is that as you are healing and growing, that you do it from a place of love and not bitterness. That you love yourself enough to say, this trauma is done. It's dead. And because it's dead and it's done, I can now heal from a safer, wholer place. This healing is mine. It's not attached to any trauma. It's not attached to anything. And we don't have bitter healing. That's my wish for you today. So please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget, we have the podcast, we have the books, we have the movie. Don't forget, Sister Rise is coming up October, bit.ly/Sister Rise. The link is right there below. And you can join us if you would like to check out any more of Be Fearless products. There's a link right there so that you can check that out as well. If I can type, you can check that out as well. But hopefully on this great, most amazing day, this has helped you. Please use it. If it's not, please use it for leave it for somebody else. So on this great day, be peaceful, period. Have the most amazing day. Let's let go of that bitter healing. Let's do the intimate work to know why we're healing for ourselves and what that journey is going to look like. All right, guys, have a great day. And I'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.